Hey guys, today I'm making strawberry and matcha bonbons. It's one of my favorite flavor combos ever, so let's get started. To color your bonbons, first you will need to temper colored cocoa butter. If you're using the bottle directly, microwave it every 15 seconds and give it a good shake each time. 15 seconds, and at first it might be too hard to shake, but don't worry, it will melt over time. I'm here trying to massage the bottle as much as I can. Now the cocoa butter has melted enough to shake. Basically, you want to melt the cocoa butter completely, and the temperature should be around 30 to 32 Celsius. To check, just brush a bit of cocoa butter on parchment paper and it should set quickly with a nice shine. And then I did the same for the other cocoa butter colors as well. I'm using a toothbrush to sprinkle white cocoa butter on the mold. I really enjoy painting colors onto the mold. It makes me feel like an artist. Wipe the mold right away if it gets messy. It's hard to clean once it sets. There are a few different ways to color the mold. Today I am going to try a trendy style. Basically, you drop some cocoa butter with the brush and blow it with air. It's actually my first time to try this way of coloring, and it's so much fun. And don't forget to use a heat gun or hair dryer to keep the cocoa butter at around 30 to 32 Celsius. At first, it was tricky to control the air, but I got the hang of it. And I layered it 2 or 3 times to make the color a bit darker or deeper. I'm keeping some areas empty so I can add that matcha green color later. I think that's good enough for the red. By the way, cocoa butter is so oily, it's better to wipe it off first before you do the dishes. And using parchment paper makes cleanup a lot easier. For the matcha color, I mostly used green with a little bit of yellow and white. And of course, I tempered the cocoa butter. I am filling in the empty spots with green. And I let it overlap with the red just a little bit. It gives a nice blended look. By the way, I didn't paint the whole mold so the white chocolate can show through. Okay, I'll wrap it up here and start tempering the chocolate. I used 300 grams of white chocolate based on the size of my mold. And I'm microwaving it for 30 seconds first. And then stir it well. Stirring is really important when you're tempering. And now I'm putting it back to the microwave for another 15 seconds. Basically, you just want to melt it slowly and make sure it doesn't go over 30 Celsius. Once most of the chocolate has melted, you need to be careful from now on. I try to avoid using the microwave now and melt it as much as I can just by stirring. You see the temperature is 30 Celsius. Your goal is to bring it to about 28 to 29. And if you still see a few small chunks, You can use a heat gun or hair dryer, or you could use a microwave. Just heat it for another 3 to 5 seconds. Once it's around 28 to 29, you can check if the tempering is done right. I usually put a little chocolate on my scraper and wait around 5 minutes. If it sets nicely, you're all good. While the chocolate is setting, I'm getting my tools ready. Now I'm putting the chocolate into a piping bag. Since tempered chocolate sets quickly, you have to work fast. I know it's not easy, but if you practice, you'll get better and better. Fill the bonbon mold all the way with chocolate. Then tap the bonbon mold like this to release any air bubbles inside. Turn it upside down and tap it with the scraper to let the chocolate fall out. Tap it from all different angles. That helps the chocolate fall out evenly. Then scrape off the surface with the chocolate scraper. Now we just have to wait for the chocolate to set. You can use the leftover chocolate to make ganache or, temper it again. Basically, chocolate is very expensive, like gold, so I can't waste even a single piece. Now let's make strawberry ganache. Mix 75 of strawberry puree with 10 grams of glucose syrup, or you can use corn syrup. Warm it up in the microwave and mix it up. Pour it over 100 grams of white chocolate. And then add 8 grams of unsalted butter. Mix it well. Lastly, add 2 grams of lemon juice and mix. And it's done. If you use a hand blender, it will come up much smoother, but it's not necessary. When you pipe the ganache, you don't want the ganache to go over about 29 Celsius. If it's too hot, it can melt the bonbon shell. Since I'm piping 2 types of ganache, I'm filling the mold only halfway. You can freeze the leftover ganache and use it next time, or you can use it for your cake filling. It really works well. Okay, while I'm making the matcha ganache, I will keep this in the fridge to set. For the matcha, warm up 45 grams of cream with 2 grams of matcha powder. And then pour this cream onto 90 grams of white chocolate. You can use a spatula to mix, but I actually prefer whisk. Or hand blender works well too. Then add 8 grams of unsalted butter. Butter gives the ganache a smoother, silkier texture. I'm just filling it to about 90%, leaving a little space on top because you need some room for the chocolate to close on top. Once the ganache is set, you can close the bonbons. I am using 100 grams of tempered white chocolate to cover. This chocolate scraper is a must for making bonbons, you see. Chill the bonbons for about 10 to 15 minutes before unmolding. If it tempered well, you can easily take all the bonbons out at once. But yeah, sometimes for some reason they just don't pop out perfectly. In that case, you can put it in the freezer for about 2 minutes. Or you can twist the mold a little, you see what I'm doing? If you hit it too hard or force it out, the bonbons can break. It's best not to touch the bonbons too much, the shine can fade, so here I'm using a scraper to move the bonbons. Oh, look how shiny and pretty they are. Strawberry and matcha, honestly, it never fails. Making these tiny bonbons takes so much work, but honestly, so rewarding. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back soon with another recipe. Bye!